Welcome, my dear friends. This is the first taster class that we are providing at Zero Point School. So I'm super excited with this new creation that we are creating. And to give you just a short intro about me, about Zero Point School. So how about I share screen so all of you would get to know right here. All right. So there. So I'm the founder of Zero Point School, and Zero Point School, basically, I have no definitions to give it. Instead, I would like to tell you, I was like, it would be nice if this type of school existed. You know, all of us come through our beautiful educational system, and we know the holes in the educational system and the subjects that we are taught, the way that we are taught is not enough for a person to go ahead and face the real world. So that's how this particular thing was born. And to be honest, this was my dream from age 12. So I have no clue how I was born with this dream, but that has been who I was. So here comes a new education system for the new earth. I would like to call it, let's say, a spiritual school or a consciousness school for teenagers and adults. So we are getting started with adult classes. And what's special, what's unique about the school is, I feel, first of all, the the books that we have taken. So these are the kind of books that we are, I cannot say teaching, but I would rather say facilitating at the school. So for example, the Creating Money, the Law of Attraction, the Emotion Code, and some of these are holistic healing modalities, and some of it are deep spiritual consciousness, yoga, meditation based books. So that's the power of the subconscious mind. And all of those things, when I read these books, I was like, this was the information I had to learn in my school. But I'm sitting here learning at when I'm 30. So how can I change this for the next generation, especially for the kids, for the teenagers? How about we give this information of consciousness and spiritual knowledge and holistic healing tools at the tender age of 12, 13, 15? So again, just going back to my dream. And the other speciality about the school is that it's not the teachers who teach it. Instead, it is what we call the pedagogy, peer learning. So if you join any class of Zero Point School, you will read the book, you will create a presentation by yourself, you will be given, let's say, a small portion of the book each week. You will read it as a participant, you will read it, you will create the presentation, and you will come to the class and you will be teaching the information to one of your peer learners. So the teacher or the facilitator is not teaching you. Instead, it is you who is teaching others. And this came up from all through last year. I was learning different books and I was giving these presentations to my group of clients, and I could see a massive difference between me simply reading the book versus me reading the book, creating a presentation, and teaching it to others. So, in my point of view, I say it as, when I teach something, I can become the master of it. When I'm learning something, I'm just being a learner, a student of some information or the book. So it's about now, how can I master these books, the information in the books, and what kind of transformation can that create in my world, in my life? So that's how this, peer learning or the pedagogy system came up. So there are no grades, there are no stress. Instead, it is peer evaluation. So when you are doing the presentation, you will have questions that you ask. So after every slide, you will have one slide of questions. So whomever you're teaching it to, you are asking them the question right then and there to make sure they are understanding what you are teaching them. So this gives the teacher and the learner the kind of space where both of them know that they are learning the information for sure. And if the learner gives a wrong answer, for example, so the teacher can again correct it and kind of say, okay, this is what I meant by this. And the beautiful life skills that we can develop was unending. But in my experience, I saw that, oh, we have this independent learning opportunity. Our communications are getting better. Our leadership qualities are getting better. We are becoming the teachers. We did not get an opportunity to become teachers at our school. We were students. So what if now we can give this opportunity to become a teacher of that information, the self-confidence, the voicing up, the time management, the collaboration skills. You will be with 12 other students. Each class has a maximum capacity of 12 students, and all of these classes are done on Zoom. And we use something called the breakout rooms, so that two members are in different rooms, so that one person's presentation is not affecting the other person's presentation. Each class would be like a 90-minute class. First 30 minutes, you get to be the teacher, and then we switch the pairs after 30 minutes. So you get to be the learner for the next 30 minutes. So you are on both sides. You become the teacher of that information and you become the learner of that information. You get to learn someone else's point of view about the same information. And of course, public speaking skills and presentation skills. So many different skills that we can develop with this beautiful experiment that we are doing here. So we are starting the Law of Attraction today. All of you are here for the Law of Attraction book presentation. We are starting off this particular book next week, next Saturday. And what you're going to see today from Rochelle is she is going to give you a demonstration. She is the facilitator of this class. And all of the facilitators of every class that we have at school, they already do these kind of presentations to different teachers. So they already do the presentation before they even come to the class, so they know the material. So what Rochelle is going to do today is give you a demonstration of how this presentation looks like, how you can read the first chapter of the book and create a presentation and come to the class and give it to others. So that's what she is going to demonstrate. And then I'll pick it up from there. So Rochelle, let's get started.
Thank you, Vishnu. Hello, everyone. All right, so I just want to share the screen quickly. Okay.
Yes, I can see a screen.
Good, we're starting well. Can you still see the faces, Vishnu?
Yes, I can.
Okay, cool. All right, everybody. So I have edited this a little because we don't have the full time allocation, but it does give you a good idea how we do this. So welcome to this 30-minute class on manifesting your dreams. The Law of Attraction is the book by Jerry and Esther Hicks, and it's really so powerful. I can recommend it. So let's get into it. The power of thought. The law of attraction states that which is like unto itself is drawn. Thoughts are magnetic. You get what you think about, if you want it or not. And that is a really important point to remember. That which is like unto itself is drawn. So if we are thinking angry thoughts, we are drawing situations and of perhaps other people being angry, or perhaps situations which make us feel more angry, so that we resonate with that vibration of anger. As thought grows, we gather evidence from the past to support this thought, and we project it into the future. So you all know that when something's happened to you before that you didn't like, we always worry that it's going to happen again. And we tend to take those thoughts from the past and project them into our future. This is what will happen. It happened before, it will happen again. So we end up poisoning our future with our past. We gather more evidence, we discuss it with anyone who will listen, and we have more of the same thoughts. The thought grows and expands and manifests physically. So we all have that situation where something happens to us and we meet with a friend and we say, this is what happened to me, and she agrees, and we think how badly we've been treated, and so everything just snowballs and gets worse. This is how we create our reality. We create what we think about. All right, everybody, so we're going to have a question here. The law of attraction. What is the law of attraction? Can anyone just zap on their microphone and give us an answer?
Here comes the turning point of the presentation, by the way. You get to listen it. So yes, who wants to unmute yourself and give the answer? Whatever Rochelle presented in the previous slide, what is law of attraction? So what is your takeaway? What is law of attraction? If you want to put it in your own words, you can do that. Who would like to unmute yourself? Yes,
Nobody.
I'm happy to answer. The law of
Thanks,
attraction,
Greta.
yeah, no problem. It states that what's like unto itself is drawn. So basically, what will manifest in your life is what you think about and how you feel about it.
Fantastic. Thanks, Greta. Yes. All right, so moving on. The language of your inner being. Your inner being is the non-physical part of you, your non-physical partner. And it speaks to you through emotion. So thinking about what you want, direction of what is not wanted will be felt as negative emotion. We need to learn to be sensitive to our emotions so that we can hear the guidance from our inner being. And I like to think of the inner being kind of like Aladdin and the lamp. If you can imagine that our physical body is the little tiny lamp, and our inner being is the genie who can be huge and high up and gets to see the bigger picture. So the genie can guide us because the genie can see the bigger picture, but the only way that we can be guided is through emotion. So being aware and awake to that, we need to learn to be aware of the dance of our thoughts and emotions. When we feel low frequency emotions, we need to be able to change to a better feeling thought. All right, somebody else be brave. How do we shift ourselves out of negative emotion?
do I step in? All right.
Come on, Vishnu.
Yeah, so from my understanding, I feel if I can think what I truly want, I can shift my emotions, negative emotions, into positive emotions. When I'm thinking what I don't want, for example, oh, what if my clients doesn't show up? What if this happens? What if that happens? Against what I want, I feel negative emotion. And if I am thinking what I do want, for example, oh, I'm going to have 10 clients come up tomorrow. I'm going to have the exact food that I need from the restaurant. Now I'm thinking positively towards what I want, and therefore I can have positive emotions. Do you have a different way of explaining that, Rochelle?
Be connected to what we're worried about. We could be worried about not having enough clients. And then if we can just think about something that makes us feel good, it could be walking on the beach. As long as we're feeling good, we attract things which make us feel good. So obviously, if all our clients arrive, if we have client bookings, it feels good. We don't, sometimes when we're thinking about the bookings, we're actually thinking about the lack of the bookings. So it's sometimes better to just go to something that really feels good, and just having that energy of good feeling draws more things which feel good. So, but yes, you're absolutely right. Just finding a better feeling thought is what we're looking for. So we are creators, good or bad. The more you think about something, the more powerful the magnetic draw becomes. So what kind of magnet do you wish to be? There is nothing you cannot do, be, or have. So I have this little picture of a magnet here, and think of the little iron filings as your thoughts. So we have two different ends of a thought. We have worry on the one end, what we don't want, and the desire on the other end. The more I think about what I don't want, the more I draw it to me. If I feel unloved, I draw people and circumstances which make me feel more unloved. When I think about my dis-ease, I draw more dis-ease into my life. So if I keep thinking about my pain, my dis-ease, my discomfort, I'm so tired of being uncomfortable. I wish I could be comfortable and then I wouldn't feel like this. We keep going back to the worry side of the stick. Desire, what we desire would be, the more I think about what I do want, the more I draw it to me. if I imagine what I want in great detail, and if I can feel gratitude for receiving even before I have received, then I draw it to me. Focusing on what we desire, not the lack of what we desire. So just when you have a thought, you need to think of the magnet and which end are you drawing from? Are you drawing things from the wrong end of the stick, or are you drawing from the end which you desire? Whether you know it or not, whether you like it or not, we are creating all of the time. It's just that a lot of the time we're putting things, creations onto the wrong end of the stick. The more we become aware, the more we bring those creations to the right end of the stick. All right, ladies, how do we create what happens in our lives? There's no wrong answers here. Somebody else want to answer for a change? Greta, go ahead.
We create what happens in our lives by focusing on it. So whatever you're focusing on and how you feel about it, it is what you're going to create. So let's say I'm focusing on money and I'm focusing on the lack of money, then I'm going to create more lack of money. Whereas if I'm focusing on money and I'm focusing on how grateful I am that there is always enough and that so much more is coming, and when I feel good about that, then I'm creating more of that.
Perfect, thank you. All right, so we create through thought and feelings our thoughts generate. So remember the little feelings thing. So the process of creating, we collect data, and data is information of things that we enjoy. So let's say you want to furnish your bedroom. Maybe you want to look at the colors you enjoy. Maybe you see a painting you enjoy. What would you like to put into that room? You collect data of things that you would like, so that you know don't want, then you start getting a clearer picture. We need to focus on what you do want and feel the good emotion of that thought. And then as thoughts become more in quantity, they become more in power, and therefore the emotion is greater. And a thought with emotion becomes really magnetic. So we want to decide what it is that you want. We want to focus on what you want, and then we want to feel the good emotions as if we have received what we want. So again, have a picture in your mind of a magnet. It really helps to get the idea of where your thoughts are gathering in your life. So another little checkpoint, what do our thoughts and feelings together create? It's a very one-word answer, this one. Anyone brave enough? Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and give it to you.
No, I was about to tell the answer. It's okay.
Thanks, Vishnu. You're so great. So I put lots of magnet pictures in here for you guys to get, and just think, this one's so lovely, because if you think of all the 70,000 thoughts we have in a day and how they're distributed, and we would really like to get those thoughts coming more towards the good side than the bad side. So remember this little picture. Hope it helps. All right, so Abraham's workshop is a technique that we can use to help to manifest what we want in our lives. The most important thing to begin with is to make sure that you're in an uplifted mood before you begin. Remember, the feeling is a huge magnet. So if we're feeling gloomy and down when we're trying to create something good, it's not going to work. We're going to be creating more things to make us feel gloomy and down. So make sure you're in an uplifted mood. You could use music, you could do a little bit of meditation if that helps you to get to a better space. Give yourself 15 to 20 minutes of undistracted time in a comfortable space, and you can make your space as comfortable as you like. Perhaps you would like to have a comfortable cushion to sit on. You don't have to be in a meditation position. This is not meditation. It's just daydreaming. You're going to sit with a clear thought and stay focused on what you want without going into that meditative state. Using data you've collected through the day, picture yourself in a way that pleases you, and so that you can achieve a state of being in your mind. So you want to really use your senses. What do you smell when you're in Abraham's workshop? If you're thinking of your bedroom, what is it going to smell like? Are you going to have roses in your bedroom, or is there some scented candle in your room? What is it going to look like? What colors are you using in your room? Are there specific pictures or designs that you particularly love? What is your sense of hearing? Have you got music? Have you got a wind chime? Perhaps you've got birds singing or a fountain outside. What does it feel like? So being able to feel textures. I love things that are soft. So is there a soft blanket, or does something feel crispy and clean? Do you like the feeling of a woolen rug under your feet, or perhaps a cotton rug? So really picking out things that make you feel good. So we've got touch, we've got scent, we've got sound, we've got sight, and we've got smell. Okay, so we want to bring in each of our senses and really create something special, focusing on the feeling that you get on the inside when you feel that. Oh my word, people are moving chairs around, I'm sorry. Okay, so from there, can you explain the 3 steps of Abraham's workshop? Anybody? Thanks, Greta. You're an angel today.
No problem, my pleasure. So first of all, you make sure that you're in an uplifted mood, whatever it takes to make you happy. Maybe you want to dance, or I don't know, cuddle with your pet, or whatever makes you happy. And then you make sure that you have 15 to 20 minutes of uninterrupted time, and you make yourself comfortable. And you sit down with a clear thought and stay focused on what you want. And so decide what subject you want to focus on, and focus on the data you collected. So let's say you're creating, I don't know, a new bedroom. And wherever you go, you look for things that would be pleasing to have in your bedroom. And then you focus on visualizing that in your mind, and you not only think, but you also visualize what you would sense with your different senses. So what would you see? What would it feel like? What would you smell? And all of those things.
Awesome, thanks, Greta.
And Rochelle, if I can kind of summarize that as well, because that's the whole topic for today, that we have a simple 20-minute process to manifest our dreams. So in my understanding, so I'm just going to give another example so who are watching here can kind of have that takeaway as well. Let's say I am manifesting a new home for myself. Let's say I'm in a rented space and I want to manifest a new house. And in my dreams, let's say it's a beautiful, what do you call it? A grassy hilltop where there is a beautiful wooden house. And that's what I'm manifesting. And if I'm going to apply the Abraham's 20-minute workshop, I would first of all sit daydreaming. It's not meditation is the first point. So I'm not closing my eyes and going into meditation. Instead, it's daydreaming. And first of all, the first step is, okay, I have to be in uplifted mood. If I just had a fight with my partner and I'm in a very bad mood, maybe that's not the right time for me to go into this particular workshop. So instead, let's say I listen to some music, or I do some dancing, whatever kind of makes me happy. I do that first, and I be in the happy mood. And then I sit down into this daydreaming. And in this daydreaming process, that's where the data that you said, collecting data. So the data for me here is that beautiful grass and the wooden, 2-floor, let's say, the house that I'm dreaming about. What kind of texture would have? What kind of tables would I have in it? What mirror would I have? How would the restroom look like? How would the kitchen look like? So I would go through it, and I love how they say, use all 5 senses. How would my house smell like? How would my, air around taste like? Or how would it feel like for me to be in that kind of space? And towards the end of this 20-minute, I finish up the dreaming process. I come back down. I come back to normal. Was there any steps did I miss at all, Rochelle?
No, perfect. So just to put it really in a very short way that it's easy to remember, decide what you want, that's gathering your data, focus on what you want, that's imagining it, and then feel good. Quick and easy. But you guys were both awesome. Thank you. And that is the end of the presentation for today.
Wow, that was so amazing. So my dear friends, as you can see, myself and Greta has completed the entire book. So we are all teachers of the school. So as I said prior, we are able to answer like that because we have done these presentations. We have taught this to somebody else, just like how Rochelle is teaching us today. So when that teaching happens, the information gets, printed into our heart, mind, and soul. And that's what we all love about this kind of, learning by teaching pedagogy. So you read the book and then you teach it, and it feels like I'm never going to ever forget the entire book throughout my lifetime because of that teaching experience. So I am going to quickly show you the class. So this is exactly what, so in the class, Rochelle is not going to teach you. So today she is giving a demonstration of what you will be doing in the class. You will pick up the book. So for example, so this is like a 4-week. Once a week, we have a 90-minute class. So week 1 is on March 21st. It's going to be, what time is it like? 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. EST. It starts from March 21st. So if you join the class, you would take the book, you will read part 2 of the book, The Law of Attraction. You will create, so we will be sending you a blank presentation slide deck that you can use. So you will be reading the book, you will create this presentation with all of those checkpoints, and you will come to the class with the presentation ready on March 21st, and you will do this presentation to another peer member who is here to learn with you. So that is what 4 weeks. So part 2 on the first week, part 3, part 4, part 5. Part 1 of the book is an introduction. So we are skipping that part and we are just going with the other parts of the book for 4 weeks. And along with that, so the first 30 minutes, you are doing the presentation to somebody else. Next 30 minutes, we will switch your pair. Somebody else would be doing the presentation to you of the same content. And then the final 30 minutes is where the facilitator steps in. All of the facilitators at 0 Point School, they are all certified in multiple different holistic healing modalities. Some of them are certified in meditation, yoga, etc. So they are going to use those healing tools. And in this particular case, in this class, it's going to be meditation. So Rochelle is going to do like a 20-minute meditation with everybody in the class on the topic that we are learning. And all of this, Abraham's workshop, for example, you will be doing it in the class. And also we have some group discussion where you get to discuss in group whatever it is that, the questions, your understanding gets better with that group discussion. So that's how the class is. And the price for this particular 4-week one, we are launching it at the lowest price possible. And 0 Point School is a non-profit organization, which means the money that you are paying for the class, we use that to make payment to the facilitators. We pay them, $100 per hour, the facilitators who are facilitating these classes. And we have other administrative members working at the school. So all the payments that we are receiving goes to the administration, as the school is a non-profit organization. All right, so that's the quick taster class we have. If any of you have any doubts, questions, and we will have so you can join until March 16th, let's say, because after you join, you would need 2 to 3 days to read that particular portion and come ready for March 21st class. So you have until March 16th to decide and make the payment and join the class. All right, so any of you have any questions?
Vishnu, can I just add something in there?
Sure.
The doing of the presentation is such an important part of it because it really gets you into understanding the book. But the fantastic thing is that when we did the book, Greta picked up on different points to what I picked up on, and Vishnu picked up on different points to what I picked up on. So you end up redoing the book with different people's point of view, which really deepens your learning even more. So it is an amazing way to do it. And the law of attraction literally changes your life. If you change the way that you're thinking about it, it really changes your life. So, and also I wanted to say, with the first one, what I thought of doing is instead of doing a meditation, is actually doing a process of Abraham's workshop, where we take the 20 minutes and do Abraham's workshop and give you a time to do it so that you can actually practically do it, which makes sense when we can practice the techniques. That's all. Thanks.
Wow, Rochelle, thank you so much for that amazing presentation. I love these discussions and, you know, absorbing that information. So thank you, Greta. You were such a gift that you came in. So thank you so much. All right, my dear, beautiful friends, I would see you. So we are gonna continue the free taster classes. And if you would like to join the Law of Attraction, please do message me, or, oh, we also have the link. So if you go to the school's website, zeropointschool.com, you have the class and you can enroll in there. If you have any questions also, you can message me. Thank you so much. So we are done on time, I guess. So let's go. Thank you, Rochelle. Thank you, Greta. Thank you, Barbara. Thank you, Nathandra. So happy to see you after a long time. Thank you all.
Thank you, Rochelle.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.